Happy Mounjaro Monday, friends. Today, I've got a lot to share because I went to a new doctor for my 6-month diabetes checkup, and I wanted to talk to him about a lot of things, including talking about his thoughts on me titrating up, because I have been taking 10 milligrams of Mounjaro. If you're new to my channel, I have been on a Mounjaro journey. This is going to be my 68th shot to take. So I've been doing this for over a year now. I do have type 2 diabetes. I'm also postmenopausal and needed a hysterectomy in May of last year, and I am on hormone replacement therapy. Now, I did not want to get a new doctor. I have had the same primary care doctor for over 30 years. I've been married to Jeff for 35 years, and I've been trying to remember if he may have been my doctor right before we got married. So Dr. David Gannon was my doctor. I loved him to pieces. Oh my gosh, he was wonderful. And he's been a wonderful doctor for my family all of these years, but he retired. And so it made me have to find another doctor. And fortunately, Dr. Gannon did the work for me, and he found a wonderful doctor to take his place. And he sent me a letter in the mail letting me know that he was retiring and that this new doctor is really good with diabetes and really good with different things that seniors might experience. And I look a little bit younger than I am because I dyed my hair, but I am a senior. I am 58 years old, so I'm hitting that time in life, but I'm loving some of the senior discounts that I've been getting for being over 55. So I'll take those. But anyway, this doctor is supposed to be really good with people in my age group, as well as people who have type 2 diabetes. So I thought I'd give him a try first before looking around for another doctor. And I was really curious what his thoughts were going to be about taking GLP-1s, especially Mounjaro, since that's what I have been taking and I love it. It's been so helpful for me in so many ways. However, I have not lost any. Today is April 28th. Of 2025, if you're catching this on replay. And I have not lost any weight since February 6th. And on February 6th, I was down my 40th pound on Mounjaro. So I was really excited to hit the 40-pound mark. I read Dave Knapp's book. He's got a great little book about GLP-1. So I do recommend that book if anyone, it's a little shout out to Dave. And he sells his book on Amazon. And when I was reading it, pretty much everything in there I knew because I've been researching this for a long time. And I also watch his channel On the Pen and have been watching it for quite a long time too. So there wasn't new information, but taking the time to sit down and read his book, which doesn't take very long, but it was a good review and a good reminder that people with type 2 diabetes that were part of the Mounjaro studies, that typically they lose around 15% of their body weight. And I have met that. I have met that goal. So I always say that I'm a slow loser because I feel like I'm a slow loser because there's a lot of people out there that lose a lot more weight quicker. And even people who've started at the same weight as me have lost more weight than I have, and they've lost it faster than I have. So I kind of felt like, well, we're all on different journeys. I love my friend Simply Taisha. Oh my gosh, I found her channel too. outstanding. Highly recommend her. And she always says, we can share our journeys, but we don't need to compare our journeys. And it's hard because a lot of us, that's what we naturally kind of do, part of human nature. But there are so many different things about us, and we're doing different things. So it's really isn't good to make a big comparison like that we have to give ourselves grace when we're not losing weight as fast as someone else. We don't know their whole story. We all have different medical reasons that we would go that we would do better or worse on the medications. Some of us have severe side effects. Some of us hardly have any side effects or no side effects at all, other than much better blood sugar and much better health, much better health. I can tell you, Mounjaro for me has been just life-changing. It's been life-changing for me. I'm not near as hungry as I used to be when not on it. And my blood sugar is so much better and so much easier to control when I'm taking Mounjaro. It's made my A1C out, I don't know, 6 months ago. So it's been 6 months since I had my A1C checked. But my last checkup 6 months ago, I was at 5.6, which is in the healthy blood sugar range, like a normal person, which is awesome. It was my first time hitting that since I've been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes in 2020. So anyway, it's been really great for me. I used to have stage 1 non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. That's gone, which is awesome. I did not realize how dangerous non-alcoholic fatty liver disease is, but I have found out through my Anchor Moments community, some of the people in our community have lost family members to non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, and I'd never heard of it. And come to find out, I had it, but now it's gone. So that's been a big plus too. But I do have more weight that I would like to lose because I am still obese. I'm not, when you do the BMI chart things, I used to be extremely obese, so I'm not that anymore. Now I'm just in the obese range, and I'm trying to get some more pounds off for my health. But I'm already seeing a big difference. My knees don't hurt anymore. My knees used to hurt, so it's easier for me to exercise and things. But anyway, I needed a new doctor because my doctor retired. My doctor who was there for me when I needed my hysterectomy, who was there for me before I ever had kids, after I had kids. I took my kids to him too, as he was our family doctor. So it was hard to start over again. But his replacement is a very kind gentleman. And he had some ideas that were different than Dr. Gannon's, and he had some recommendations for me. And I'm going to share those with you all because though we're on, we may have different things in our medical history. We may be doing different ways of how we're attacking healthy lifestyle journeys. There may be something that I tell you about that's going to give you an idea of a question to ask your doctor. And maybe it might even give you the inkling to get a second opinion from a different doctor. And that may be very beneficial to you. So I'm going to share you my journey. I'm not a doctor. I'm your sister from another mister who's pretty much an open book. And the reason that I am such an open book and I'm so passionate about sharing my journey is because it's my hope with every video I make that there's at least one person out there that goes, wow, I hadn't thought of that. or maybe I should see my doctor. I haven't seen my doctor in a while, or maybe it raises a question that they never thought to ask their doctor. And I can tell you, for those of us that live in the United States, our healthcare system makes it really tough, and it makes it tough on doctors. They only have so much time to see you, and you feel kind of like you're rushed in and out sometimes. And if you had a question where you go in and you know you're going to ask that question, they'll answer it for you. And so if you don't ask the question, they're not going to give you the answer. And the answer would be great because it's going to be about you. They've got your file. They know what other medications you are taking. They can see on the chart if you've been gaining or losing weight. They have a lot of information that's specific to you. But sometimes you have to ask the questions to get more information. So anyway, I did go in today, and I was a little nervous because there are some doctors who have the philosophy of keeping you on the lowest dose of, if you're going to do a GLP-1, to do the lowest dose possible. And I know from how I've been eating lately, my hunger levels and things, in my heart, I was really hoping to go up to 12 and a half milligrams because I haven't been, I mean, even trying to think the last time that it's taken me a hot minute to really lose more. This last 5 pounds from 35 to 40 pounds has been months and months and months and months and months. So it's time, I think, to boost it. But I didn't know for sure what this new doctor, what his thoughts were going to be. So he actually really looked through my file, which was great. He came from out of state and he told me he felt really blessed to be able to have this wonderful opportunity to have a doctor who was loved and respected and had a lot of patients retire while he was coming in from out of state to be able to pick up his practice and already have some patients to be able to see and grow it right away. So he went through my file and really had given it a good look over before my visit today. So that was really nice. One of the things he said when looking through my file is he noticed I wasn't taking anything that would protect my kidneys. And he noticed that he'd seen that in other patients too, that Dr. Gannon had that had type 2 diabetes. And he said now they really recommend, doctors now recommend as the gold standard that not only do you do something like mounjaro or metformin, but that you take something to help your kidneys. And what he recommended is lisinopril. Is that what it is, Jeff? He'll pop in a minute. My husband takes it for high blood pressure, but I'm going to be on the lowest dose of it because I don't have high blood pressure. But the lowest dose of lisinopril actually has a very big protection of your kidneys. And so anyway, I'm going to give that a shot, and I've picked that up. He also, when I asked him about mounjaro, and I told him, and I said, I've not lost weight since February 6th, and I had a really rough weekend. One of my close friends passed away, and his wife is my bestie. I call her my Bopsy twin. Our personalities are exactly the same. And we just have so much fun together. And anyway, he passed away, and he's the exact same age as Jeff, my husband. And he was so good at volunteering in our town, and we do a lot of volunteering together. And we had 3 ceremonies for him: one Friday, one Saturday, and one Sunday. It was a 3-day celebration of life. And we had 3 potlucks, one Friday, one Saturday, and one Sunday, where we were bringing lots of delicious food and lots of delicious treats to it. And in 3 days' time, I gained 4 pounds when I stepped on the scale this morning. I know it's not all full hard fat, because some of it's going to be like, I made a ham and I brought a ham in a crock pot, and ham's very salty, so some of it's going to be sodium weight that'll flush out of me. So hopefully by next Monday I'll have it'd be great to have all of it off, but I should have most of it off. But it did, when I stepped on the scale this morning, I was like, dang it. And I before I went last Monday, I told you that I didn't step on the scale. I was giving myself grace, because I also made a big ham for Easter, and with all the Easter celebration, the Easter candy and all that kind of stuff. I decided not to step on the scale last Monday because I wanted to give myself some grace. And but I knew I was gonna step on the scale soon. And I stepped on the scale. I can't remember if it was Thursday or Friday morning, but I was up a pound from the week of Easter. And then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I put on 4 more. So I'm up 5 pounds. And I told that to my new doctor, that I have a fluffy 5 pounds on, that I think a lot of it could be water weight, but there's probably a solid pound of fat in there that I'm going to have to try to get off. But my mounjaro wasn't working as well as it used to, because when I went through the buffet line on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I was able to eat a full plate of food and want the desserts. The desserts were really calling me too, because I have been an emotional eater my whole life. And I know we're supposed to look for comfort in other places, but I didn't. I didn't Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But I am back on track today, and I have had no candy today or stuff. And so back to normal life. But I really feel I'm ready to move up a dose, because a few months ago, when I first started taking 10 milligrams, I wouldn't have been able to eat a full plate of potluck food. I wouldn't have been able to. I just would have been too full. I would have stopped. And I didn't get a mounjaro spanking either, because I was a little worried, thinking, oh, I hope I don't get a spanking. And I didn't get a mounjaro spanking. And what I call a mounjaro spanking is 3 times in the 68 weeks that I have taken my shot, I ate too much, something too calorie dense for dinner, and woke up in the middle of the night with vomiting and diarrhea, which is awful. So that's only happened to me 3 times in 68 weeks, but I call those mounjaro spankings. So I was a little worried this weekend. I wonder if I'm going to get a mounjaro spanking. But you know what? I didn't get a spanking. And I didn't, but I ate more than I've been trying to eat. I would say mounjaro is not a magic pill. It is not a magic wand. It is a tool. It's a tool that can help you. Well, number one, it's a phenomenal tool to help you with blood sugar. I mean, that is just for those of us who have type 2 diabetes, it is life-changing for most of us, for helping us with our blood sugar. It's amazing. But for losing weight, it's just a tool. Mindy had told me that she heard from Taisha that it's like it unlocks the door for you, but you still have to walk through the door. And so it unlocks the door to not being as hungry and to turning off some of that food noise, that constant thinking about food. But you still got to walk through the door. You still got to watch how much you're eating. And you still have to make some healthy food choices. And you still have to do all the work, because it's still, you still have to eat in a calorie deficit. And exercise is very helpful too. If you can get any kind of movement in, very helpful. So doing those things is what makes the weight come off. But it is a tool to help it be a little easier to unlock the door, but you still have to walk through that door. And this 3-day weekend, I didn't use my tool wisely. And I definitely ate too much.
Or would you say that was emotional eating?
Oh my gosh, big time. I tried real hard not to cry too much, because I was trying to be really, really there for my friend Cynthia, and I did shed some tears here and there through this 3-day weekend. But it was a tough weekend. I still can't get over that Victor's gone. It was a tough weekend, but I'm ready to hit it again, and start swimming. Swimming time is coming up here in Arizona. I swam for a couple of days last week, but this weekend, seriously, it was the most beautiful weekend in Arizona, and the temperature cooled off out of nowhere, which made it really lovely for Victor's relatives who flew in from all over the place in the U.S. and to be at his celebration of life. So the weather was really nice, but it made the swimming pool cold again. So I'm hoping in a few days it'll warm up enough that I can hop in. And we swam the 2 days we swam last week. It was 75 degrees. Actually, last Monday was the first day we went in the pool. Jeff came in and surprised me during my live, and he was wearing his swimsuit trunks. And and I'm like, "Are you ready to go swimming, Jeff?" And he's like, "Yeah, I got the thermometer. Let's go see if the pool's warm enough." And it was still chilly. It was chilly, but we swam really fast so we could warm up, and
we got used to it.
And we got used to it. If we swam laps as fast as we could, it helped us to get used to the water, and then we swam for an hour. So I did that twice last week. I got to go swimming twice, but then it cooled off again. So but hoping, in Arizona, let me tell you, May is right around the corner. The hot weather's coming. And so it should be in a few days, I should be able to swim again. But anyway, I got to just hop back up on that horse and get riding for this healthy lifestyle. So nervously, I asked my new doctor if it would be okay for me to titrate up to 12.5 milligrams. Because like I say, when I first started 10 milligrams, I don't think I could have eaten a whole plate of potluck food, which everyone's bringing their favorite thing that they're really good at cooking. So everything was like crazy tasty. And but I ate the whole plate, and I had dessert. And I was able to do it. I had to stop myself for going from seconds, because I could have done seconds. I didn't, but I could have, and I think I could have fit it in. And that's unusual for me while taking mounjaro. So anyway, I asked him if I could go to 12.5, and he said yes. Yay! He had no qualms. having me go up to 12 and a half. And he did something that my previous doctor didn't do. When he sent my prescription to Costco, which we picked up today, he didn't send a 1-month prescription. He sent a 90-day, a 3-month prescription. And my Costco pharmacist told me that for the longest time, they would only let you do 1 month. So even if you had a 3-month prescription, they could only give you 1 month's worth because of the shortages. And so they didn't want to mess up, one patient not be able to get any because they gave you a 3-month supply. But they said they don't know how long they can give me a 3-month supply. But right now, they've opened it up. And they happen to have 3 boxes of 12 and a half mounjaro in stock. So I got 3 boxes. And another surprise bonus for me is it was the same copay. So it was like I got 2 months for free. I paid for 1 month and got 2 months free because I only had to pay. I paid the original copay, which I couldn't believe. I also have one of those coupons through Mounjaro where you go to the Eli Lilly website and apply for. And anyway, so it was a savings of money for me too. And I have 3 months worth of 12 milligrams. I think today though, I'm going to take a 10 milligram shot because I have a couple of boxes in the fridge and one of the boxes just had 1 pen left. So I think I'm going to take the 10 milligrams today, but I'm going to go ahead and start 12 milligrams next Monday because I really want to get a handle on getting back in the zone with my weight loss. So I'm super excited about the 12 milligrams. I'm curious about what it'll be like to be on lisinopril. Am I saying it right? Jeff takes 10 milligrams for high blood pressure, but he has me on just 5 milligrams. So it's a half dose. And even the 10 was supposed to be a small dose. And I'm half of that. So just a little bit. And supposedly it's supposed to be really helpful for your kidneys. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. And I'll let you know if I see any difference. But then he also said something that he has a different opinion than the gynecologist who I love dearly on hormone replacement therapy. He is not a fan of hormone replacement therapy. And the reason being is that for a while, he was an internist at the hospital. So he told me he gets to see what happens when things go wrong. And he had a lot of experience of seeing what happens when things go wrong. Because if someone is seeing him, they've already gone to the ER and they were so bad, they were admitted to spend the night at the hospital. And that's when he would start seeing them as a patient, when they already went through the triage of ER and are spending, oops, sorry, I'm bonking. A little bit. Sorry about that. I'll try not to bonk the table here. But anyway, and he knew of a patient who was 81 years old who'd been on hormone replacement therapy and her doctor never changed her dosages or anything. And she ended up with a blood clot that went into her lungs. And it was horrible. And so he's very concerned about blood clots with estrogen, while taking estrogen and testosterone. And he said that if I wanted to, what he would prefer for me would be to take one of those medications that help you with hot flashes and that doesn't have hormones in it. And then, but see, he doesn't know me either. So he's got to get a chance to get to know me as I'm getting to know him. And I did advocate for myself. And I let him know that I will consider my dosages of what I'm currently taking. But hormone replacement therapy is more than hot flashes for me. There's a lot more to it. And when I started taking Mounjaro in January 10th of 2024, had just completed my 12 months of having no periods. And when you are an older woman and you've gone 12 months without a period and you're not pregnant or anything, so you're 12 months because you're
That
of
would be
the
a long
age.
pregnancy.
Yeah, it'd be a long pregnancy and it'd be kind of hard to be pregnant deep in your 50s like I was. But once you go 12 months without a period, you're finished with menopause and then you're considered postmenopausal. Well, for years, I must have had hot flashes and night sweats for probably, I know for sure 5 years, but maybe about 7 years. And the last 5 were extra heavy and bad. It was a pain in the tush. And I just put up with it. I didn't realize, none of my friends talked about hormone replacement therapy. I just thought it's something you put up with. You're getting old, you get the hot flashes. So I just put up with it. And when I started taking mounjaro on January 10th, and I just had 12 months without a period, by the end of January, around the 25th or 26th, I had some spotting. And then in February, I had a period. And then, and I went and saw my gynecologist and I had bad cells or whatever. And it wasn't mounjaro that gave me the bad cells because, I mean, it happened so quickly. And it's the same cells that my mom had. She had the hyperplasia, whatever, when she was in her 50s and needed a hysterectomy too. And I ended up having my hysterectomy. But the day after my hysterectomy, I had a bunch of hot flashes and night sweats were back because I had my ovaries removed. And then I realized, oh my gosh, I had not had any hot flashes or night sweats when I started taking mounjaro. So mounjaro, I believe, woke up my ovaries. And I told this to my new doctor that I'm pretty sure mounjaro woke up my ovaries because my hot flashes stopped. And once you go a few months with no hot flashes, when they come back with a vengeance, you want them to stop. I mean, it's pretty awful. And you're like, oh man, I don't want to do this again. So I did see my gynecologist, and my gynecologist didn't just hand out hormone replacement therapy willy-nilly. She also was very cautious. So she had me do a lot of testing. She sent me to have my veins and arteries checked. So I had to have an ultrasound on my legs to check my veins and arteries and have all of that checked out before she'd be willing to. And she had other tests done too. She had me do a bone density test. I did some kind of a heart test and a heredity test to see if I had the biomarkers for having cancer. And I passed that. I actually didn't, which was nice. So she had me do a lot of stuff before she was willing to let me do hormone replacement therapy, especially since I did have the precancerous cells in my uterus and cervix. So she was very, 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 very careful with me and did a lot of that first too, which my new doctor wouldn't have known that. So I was able to kind of explain that to him. And then I said, but it's more than hot flashes. So I've been taking hormone replacement therapy for almost a year now. I started at the beginning of July. I take 2 estradiol patches that I put one on Monday and I put one on Fridays. And I take a little bit of testosterone, not a lot, just a teeny bit, but a little bit of testosterone. And I was able to tell him that there's quality of life too. And what hormone replacement therapy has done for me is, yes, it stopped the hot flashes. Yes, it stopped the night sweats, and those were horrible. It also relieved vaginal dryness and vaginal atrophy. And I will tell you, a year ago, I didn't know what that was. I didn't know what atrophy was. Vaginal atrophy, what's that? Oh my gosh, it's awful. You feel like you're falling apart down there, and it makes lovemaking with your husband very painful. And so it changed that. I don't have that anymore. That's gone. That's huge. Another thing that I had before hormone replacement therapy is I would have urgency to go to the bathroom. And when I had to go, I had extreme urgency.
Did you sometimes have urgency when I would tell a joke?
Yes, I'd have to cross my legs when Jeff would tell jokes, and he tells jokes all the time. So if I laughed really hard, I had to cross my legs. If I sneezed, I had to cross my legs, because if I did not cross my legs, I'd have to change my underwear. And when I would get urgency, when I'd have to go to the bathroom, I'd have urgency. And so I'd have to literally run to the bathroom. And a lot of times it was as I was pulling down my underwear, I'd almost there, I'd wet myself. I'd have to change my underwear, which would be just so maddening to have to do that. It was.
So it helped with that too?
Yeah, that's totally gone. Jeff made me laugh a minute ago. I did not cross my legs. And you know what? My underwear is dry. I don't have to worry about that anymore. That's gone. Gone. That is huge. So it's more than just hot flashes that that my hormone replacement therapy is helping me with. And the way that I do it is, through the patches and adding just a little bit of gel. I know I'm not getting too much.
So wait a minute.
Because there's other ways you can take both of those.
Like capsules or pellets underneath your skin.
Underneath your skin. There's other ways to do it. Exactly. And if you're doing a pellet underneath your skin, for some people, some women like it because you just get that pellet inserted and you don't have to think about it for a few months, and then you get the next one. But there are others that it's been bad for them because there's no way to regulate that. So you might be getting a whole bunch in the beginning, and then it kind of fades or whatever. And you don't want to have too much either. So by doing these small dose estradiol patches, I take the old patch off before I put a new patch on, and it's low dose.
Wait a minute, and the other stuff doesn't go through the liver, because if you take a capsule, it goes has to get cleaned out through your liver and stuff first, versus just going straight transdermally through the skin.
Exactly. Yes. And now that my liver is good, I don't want to ever hurt my liver, because now I have a good liver. Yeah. See that guy? Is she peeing? No, I swear my underwear is dry. Oh gosh. So anyway, it does a lot more for me than just hot flashes. So I was able to really explain that to him. But I said, I'll think about it. Maybe look into later talking to my gynecologist about maybe I could try lowering my dose, but I don't want to go off it because there's just so many things. And it's helped me with brain fog.
It has?
Yeah, I know. I'm still a little dizzy. It's not like it's going to make me a genius, but I was having horrible brain fog where I felt like I was getting stupider by the minute, and I would forget easy words. And one word I forgot when doing a live about fast breakfast ideas to do while taking a GLP-1. I talked about using a cookie cutter, and I showed me cooking an egg and cutting out the center of a piece of whole grain bread with a cookie cutter. And the cookie cutter I used was a star cookie cutter. I couldn't come up with the word star. I'm like, are you kidding me? I could not come up with the word star. So I was losing a lot of words, where it was just really, really frustrating. And now, every now and again I do, but it's because I'm not a genius. I was never a genius. But it's just so much better. It's so much better. A lot of that brain fog has lifted. So I'm not willing to give it all up, because it has helped me in more than one area. So if I were to quit it and just take the, Ventosa, I don't know. There's some name of some medication that starts with a V that can take away your hot flashes. That wouldn't be enough for me, because I would be missing out on all these other issues. Especially I like to I like to take care of my hubby because I love him. So I don't want that atrophy anymore either. So anyway, you do need to talk to your doctor before you take anything and really discuss with your doctor. If you're interested in hormone replacement therapy, you've got to chat with your doctor. And I do recommend that doctor be a gynecologist, because that's all they study all day long is women's health issues. So they're on top of it. They're on top of it. But talk to your gynecologist if you're interested. And it's going to depend on your history of stuff. My family doesn't have a history of breast cancer. If there was a lot of breast cancer in my family, it might not be a good choice for me. There's, it really depends on your health history, your family health history, and what are all the symptoms you have. And so anyway, you need a doctor that you can talk to. But I did appreciate this new doctor, and I told him I want him to always tell me what he's thinking, because I want to know from his experiences what his thoughts are, and I will definitely take it into consideration, even when discussing things with my gynecologist or a different doctor. But I'm not ready to go off HRT because that's been really helpful too. But I might, I don't know. I'll think about it in the future, maybe trying a lower, there's one patch I think that's lower than the one that I'm currently on, that I could maybe dial it down and see if I still get all the good benefits. But if some of that bad stuff comes back, I'm going to go right back on where I'm at now, because it's all the problems I was having are cured. So that's a good thing. He also recommended that I get a calcium
CT scan.
Yeah, a calcium CT scan.
Cardiac.
Cardiac scan. And he recommended that Jeff do that, and Jeff did, and you got a great score. Yeah, so his was like super duper. Mine I know won't be as good, because my body is one that's made too much cholesterol my whole life. When I was 21, my mom's a nurse practitioner, and I got to go to a nursing convention with her. And on the
when was this?
This was when I was 21. You just barely met me.
Oh, okay.
I was 20, because that's actually when I met Jeff, was when I was 21, when I was student teaching, and I just finished my student teaching. So I actually dated you for a couple of months. And when I came home after I graduated in May, I got to go to Chicago, and I got to go to this convention with my mom, and they had a table where they were giving free cholesterol screens. And so my mom and I did
like
it side by side.
Give you free cookies.
Yeah. Oh, they had a free cholesterol screening.
Yay.
And at that time, I was working really hard to try to lose weight. And I was riding an exercise bike 2 hours every night in the evenings while I was trying to, right after I graded papers and stuff, I would ride an exercise bike trying to lose all the weight that I gained in college. And I did. And so I was recently had dropped about 40 pounds, 30 or 40 pounds. And I was exercising twice a day. I had a bran muffin for breakfast. I would have a big chef salad at school for lunch. And for dinner, I would have a frozen lean cuisine. And then I had frozen yogurt from a frozen yogurt store. And about every 3 days, I'd get a new quart of frozen yogurt. And when we did my cholesterol, 21 years old, 115 pounds, 5'2.5", skinny as I can get. And I was shooting for that elusive 110 that it was just impossible. I truly had to starve myself to be 110. And I was 110 a couple of different summers, but both times I was really, it was like an anorexic summer for me to get to be 110. And I'm never doing that again, let me tell you. But I was the 115 that I couldn't get any lower, but still all of that. And when I got my cholesterol tested, then it was 185. And I remember my mom's was 154. And my mom was like, how in the world is yours that much higher than me? You're so young. You're so thin. You've been exercising and everything. Gina, you're going to have to watch your cholesterol, because you evidently have inherited something there, because that is really high for where you're at. And it always was that way. It went from 185. Then I was always in the 200 range, and I didn't take any medicine for it until I hit 255. And then my doctor put me on a statin to bring it lower. So anyway, I know there's a good possibility that my calcium score is not going to be as good as this guy over here, but I'm going to have that test tomorrow morning. And next Monday, I'll share with you guys whatever I should have my lab results for my A1C, and hopefully from the calcium scan to see if my arteries and stuff are clogged, or I don't know. What else does it show? I don't know.
The plaque that builds up on your inside of your aorta and your heart and all that stuff.
Okay. Well, that'll be checked. So I'll be getting some answers with that. Hopefully it's not too bad, because I'll have to share it with my gynecologist too. And I'll be really sad if I have to change my HRT, because I love my hormone replacement therapy. It's made my life, it's improved my life right along with mounjaro. It's been so helpful. All right. And I saw you sat down next to me. Was there something special you wanted to share too before I start going through comments?
Nope. Go for your comments.
But so my advice today, my good friends, talk to your doctor, ask questions, maybe write some questions down before you go in. And you know
did.
What? Well, I didn't write them down. And there is one question I didn't ask that I'm bummed I forgot to ask. But they have
you brainstormed them, but you didn't write them down?
I brainstormed them.
Write them down.
And I didn't. There was one more I didn't write down. I was going to ask but I know he's from out of state. So he's not going to know good ones in the area possibly, but he could ask somebody else in the office who would know. But I'd like to see a registered dietitian again. And when I saw one before, it was I was new to type 2 diabetes, so it was a lot on what to eat and how to eat, and that kind of thing. But what I didn't do, which I would like to do, like our good friend Mindy did, Mindy Bakami in the Anchor Moments community here, I want to see what my resting metabolism is. And there's different tests that you can take that you will know for you as an individual person at this moment in time, what your resting metabolism is. So you know how many calories you'd have to eat to be in a deficit. So anyway, I really want to do that. And I forgot to ask the new doctor, because my eyes went deer in headlights when he said he didn't like HRT. And I was like, because I am loving the difference it's made in the quality of my life. So I took a lot of time discussing that with him, and I forgot to ask about registered dietitians, but I will reach out to my doctor's office, maybe just pop in and see, even the front desk staff, who do you know that's good? See if anybody knows, because the 2 registered dietitians that I got to see who taught a 6-week class on type 2 diabetes, I think they've retired, so they're gone too. So I can't reach, because I would reach out to them and they're gone. So I've got to start over with that too. But anyway, just definitely, if you can write your questions down before you go in to see the doctor, that'll really help too, because then you can really get all your questions answered. And I hope I gave you some ideas of some questions to ask your doctor so you can find the best plan for you. And do know that doctors are practicing medicine. They practice medicine because information is constantly changing out there. And I'm sure Dr. Gannon, when he first started as a doctor, they didn't just give you everything all at once when you have type 2 diabetes. Even my new doctor said, usually when you get diagnosed, it's just so much thrown at you. They don't give you everything all at once. They start you a little bit at a time. But he was disappointed that wasn't part of my regimen, and felt that right now that would be important for me to do to protect my kidneys. So now I'm going to take 5 milligrams of lisinopril and see how it goes. But anyway, definitely write your questions, write some questions down, and you'll have a much better outcome value for your time seeing your doctor when you get a lot of those questions taken care of. And if you don't have a relationship with your doctor that you feel works for you, you could always get a second opinion and look for some, and then try out a second opinion and then see which doctor fits you the best. But I'm going to stick with this guy. I really did like him, and I do respect that he had concerns, because my gynecologist too, she doesn't prescribe it to everybody, because she has concerns too, because there are pros and cons of everything. But after I did all my stuff, and she has been very happy with my progress. Okay, and now let's see if you have any questions. I hope you're putting them in the chat, and any wins, because this is an Anchor Moments community. The Mounjaro Monday lives are for us to share and care about each other. And I just really appreciate all of you who come on Mondays, and those of you who catch us on replay and put comments in the comments. I really do appreciate that. And I do try to answer the comments as best as I can. I saw Simply Taisha's getting so many comments, because she's doing daily videos now too, that it's hard for her to keep up with all the comments, but she tries to respond to everybody, which is really nice. Oh, and one more thing, guys. Please pray for our good buddy, Barb, Health at Any Cost. She did another video. She's got a YouTube channel too, and she did another video today. Her skin cancer surgery, has some issues with infections in her incisions today. And she's taking some medicine for it now, but she does appreciate all your love and prayers. So if we can put some prayers out there for our good friend Barb, and also prayers for my friend Robin, Anchor Moments friend Robin. Today they have a lot of tornado warnings in Minnesota. So
and possibly other places in the country too.
Yeah, there's a big weird front going through the U.S. right now in some different parts. So please pray for everybody that's in harm's way with these tornadoes, that they end up being safe. Okay, and now I got Deb Zimmerman in the house. Hey, Deb, thanks for coming. And Black Squirrel, yay! Black Squirrel's here too. And Mindy says her non-scale victory. She had her colonoscopy last Thursday. She didn't need the XL blood pressure cuff or the XL hospital gown. Wow, hashtag winning. Those are big non-scale victories. Congratulations, Mindy. And Shonda says, hello, everyone. Just came from Tasha's live. Yeah, Taisha's, I'm sorry. Taisha's live. I need to put on my glasses. Taisha's live. Yeah, I even was on Taisha's live for a little bit there too. Just love her and her channel. And Black Squirrel says, that's great, Mindy. Yeah, and so does Shonda. And we got Shonda in the house. And Shelly. Hey, Shelly. And Bobby says, hi, everyone. I also just came from Taisha's live. Yeah, she's awesome. I love her. And I really like her daily. She has like these little 2-minute videos each day that are really good too. I just love them. And Shonda says, I'll be starting my 10 milligrams this Wednesday. I hope it gives me the same feeling I had on the 5 milligrams. I do too. That's the best part of titrating up, is when it gives you back to those feelings that you had when you first started, of being full much sooner. And I put some prayers out there for you, Shonda, that you're going to love 10 milligrams, and it'll be great. Oh, good. Robin just said the storms are over. Phew! Hi, everyone. Yay! Well, that was the fast prayers answered. That's great.
I know. A while ago.
I know. I got to get caught up here. And Healthy Spirit Podcast is in the house. And she says, hello, everyone, from Tisha's after party. Taisha's after party. Thank you, Jeff. Oh, goodness. That is great. And we got, and Shonda says, yeah, Taisha is awesome. You as well. Oh, thank you, Shonda. And Robin says, I upped my exercise and I'm seeing the scale moving again. Yay. That's great, Robin. I'm proud of you. See, you're doing the work. Mounjaro's unlocked the door, but you're taking the steps to walk through it and make that big difference in your health. And Shonda says, that's great, Robin. Yay. And Mindy's congratulating Robin too. And Black Squirrel says, just found out my upcoming hysterectomy can't be done robotically. Ah, darn it. Unfortunately, I'll have a vertical incision. Okay. Wow. I am sorry about that, Black Squirrel. Let us know next week or even now when your surgery is going to be, and we will say some prayers for you that it all goes well. You know, for the longest time, that's how they did it. I don't know how long they've been doing robotic hysterectomies, but it is a newer type of surgery. Just remember to do what your doctor says, and you do need to take it easy. For those of us who do, I had robotic hysterectomy, and I do have a playlist, and I did a video. A lot of them were live, some of them weren't, but I did a little video every day of my recovery for a couple of weeks, and I do have a playlist about that. And one of the mistakes I made is the robotic hysterectomy. Yeah, there's just little incisions on the outside of your tummy, but you still have the gigantuan incision on the inside that you don't see. And then you forget because you see the outside healing and you think, oh, I'm doing pretty good. And you start to get your energy back and you might do too much. And I did. And it started, I started bleeding internally. So you got to be really careful. A little bit. Remember that?
No.
You need to go back and watch. I've got a video for you to watch and then you can remember. But yeah, I did. And I started spotting and having some bleeding that I was told, stop it. You got to rest. You got to rest.
Videotaping.
Yeah. I'll have to show it to you, Jeff, but it's there. It's there.
Maybe I'm blotting it out.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a scary year last year for us. But anyway, I will put some prayers out there for you. The one good thing about having the vertical incision is it will be a bigger reminder for you to definitely get all the rest that your doctor tells you to do. So that way your incision will heal and all that inside stuff will heal. But definitely saying some prayers for you, Black Squirrel. We love you. I'm so glad that you're part of our community and you show up each week to be here with us. We really appreciate you. And Sandra's in the house. Woo woo. And Sandra says, hi, Robin. Did you get any damage? We did not. Oh, I'm glad you didn't get any damage. That's great, Sandra. And Mindy says, Black Squirrel, I have huge fibroids. So if I need a hysterectomy, I can't have it transvaginally either. Oh, goodness. Yeah. There's more than one way to have that done. And Shonda says, it's never easy changing docs. You know what? It isn't, because, it's nice when you've had a doctor for a long time who knows you and knows you're not a hypochondriac, who knows that when you say something's weird, something's really weird going on with you. And it's so hard having to start over again. Shonda too says she had to change doctors recently. I wanted to make sure we were going to be on the same page for these Zepbound meds. I'm glad she's on my side with my biggest fear. Oh, good. Because that is really important. And Linda says, my new doctor gave me Mounjaro, and I'm glad he did. My sugar was out of control. I've been on it for 6 weeks, and my sugar is down, and my hunger levels are down too. It is amazing for that. I'm so glad for you too, Linda. And Robin says, thanks, Mindy. Her weight hasn't moved since the 3rd of April. I usually do about 2 or 3 pounds down a month. However, this month, I think my body has adjusted to the 10 milligrams because I have had more food cravings. Me too. And Mindy says, Linda, that's great. Yay. And Robin says, and I have 10 milligrams left and 2 boxes. So I'll be starting on that very soon. Okay, so you'll be going up to the 12 too. That's great, Robin. We'll be 12 sisters together. And Shonda said she wasn't going to be like my other doctor and not prescribe me the Zepbound. Some doctors are still old-fashioned, so you never know when changing to a new doctor how they feel about Zepbound meds. Yeah. That's why you need to find someone that you're comfortable with. And because you're partnering with them and you need a doctor you can partner with. And like I say, Dr. Gannon was my partner for over 30 years with all my medical stuff. But so far I'm liking this new guy. So I'm going to give him a chance. And I really appreciated the time he took with me today, because it wasn't a short visit. It was a pretty long visit, but he was very thorough, and I really appreciated him. And Val says, somehow I hear but don't see you. Uh-oh. Want to go check and make sure?
I did.
Could you see me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure why that would be.
Okay, I'm not sure, Val. I hope you can see me now, because Jeff checked in the other room and he was able to see. Were you checking on your phone?
Yes.
And I showed up.
Yeah.
Okay. And Robin says 2 boxes of 12 and a half. For some reason, something isn't working so great. Maybe it's the storms here. I don't know. Oh, I wonder if that is the issue. I hope you guys can see me. Robin says, I can't take lisinopril because I get the cough from it, which is one of the side effects. Yeah, I've got to read what the side effects are, because like I say, I've never taken it before. And Mindy says, Gina, keep an eye on your blood pressure with the lisinopril. I took a similar med for my kidneys and had to stop because my blood pressure was too low. Wow. Yeah, so I am going to have to watch that, because my blood pressure isn't bad. It was actually a little high for me at the doctor's visit, but I think that could possibly be because I had, oh, good. So we can see me on your phone. So hopefully right now it's working and people can see and hear me. Anyway, my blood pressure was 120 over 90. The 120 was okay, but 90 is a little high for the bottom one, especially for me, because usually I am more kind of a between 110 at the 110 and 120 on the top, and I don't know. I think I've been between 75 and like 85 on the bottom. So the 90 on the bottom was a little bit on the higher. But yeah, I want to watch and make sure. Just like if you don't have type 2 diabetes and you start taking Zepbound or Wegovy, you have to watch make sure that you don't get dizzy and have symptoms of having too low a blood sugar. And so, yeah, you're right, Mindy. And I'll be watching that, my blood pressure, and make sure it doesn't go too low. And Sandra says, so sorry for your loss. May he rest in peace. Thank you so much. Victor was amazing, an amazing human being. And I mean, he had the mayor speaking at one of his, well, actually 2 out of 3 of the events for his 3-day weekend of celebrations. 2 out of 3, the mayor of Chandler spoke at it. And one of our congressmen came and spoke and gave a plaque that's going in. His life story is going to go in the Library of Congress, because he did so much for our community. Victor was amazing. So thank you so much, Sandra. I really appreciate that. And Mindy says, Val, close the app and come back. Okay, and that's what worked for you, Mindy? Hey, and I got Simply Taisha in the house. Yay! And she says, I'm sure it'll drop right off.
It must be related to another Another comment, which I don't.
Oh, okay, that I didn't mean. It'll drop right off. Okay. But thanks for showing up for mine too. I was also on her live. I love she has so much positive energy, and she is going to be on my show at some point where the two of us are going to get together. I'm not sure what day. We were waiting for her husband to come back in town. So pretty soon here, you're going to have a really fun live with me and Taisha on together. And it's going to be a riot. I'm so looking forward to it. And and Mindy says, Taisha, you should know. Oh, I know what she's saying. I'm sure it'll drop right off my weight because I was worried that I was up 5 pounds.
Oh.
Thank you, Taisha. I appreciate that. And she did have a video where she had gained 5 pounds. And I'm sure she got it right off. Oh, goodness, because she does do a good job. She does all the right things, the exercising and eating consistently, good stuff. And Shonda says, Taisha's in the house. Woo woo. Yay. And do you track what you eat? Yes, I usually do. When I didn't, I did off and on. I did like breakfast. And then when I went to the celebrations of life, it'd be so much stuff to write down. I don't know. I didn't do the buffet line. I didn't write what I ate then. But yeah, now that I'm back to making myself food, I am back to tracking, or will be tomorrow. We did go out for breakfast this morning.
We did.
Yep. And we split a breakfast, which was nice.
We did.
But it was enough calories. I didn't have lunch, and I've been just going, and went to Costco and stuff. I didn't get a chance to write it down. So actually, I didn't track today either, but I'm tracking tomorrow. I promise. I'm pulling it out, and I am tracking tomorrow. Hey, I got Frank and Sharon in the house. Yay! They're one of the reasons why I have an Anchor Moments RV. Not Anchor Moments RV, an Embassy RV, and our second YouTube channel, Anchor Moments RV. Frank and Sharon says, many years ago, I took lisinopril for blood pressure. After a year, they time off because it caused constant coughing. Uh-oh, my lungs are still slightly compromised. You should be fine, but watch closely. Okay, I will. That's good to know about you too, Jeff. But Jeff doesn't have a cough so far.
I've taken it since the 90s.
Oh, all right. He's one of the lucky people that it didn't bother him. But I appreciate you giving me the heads up, Frank and Sharon. So I'll be on the lookout, and hopefully I'll do fine because it's such a small dose, the 5 milligrams. But if it's any issue, I'll definitely contact my new doctor and say, let's do something else. And Mindy says these meds are not magic, but they are magical. They do make a difference, but yeah, you still have to do more than just take it. That's for sure. And Shonda says, I'm sorry for your loss. You got this. I hope going up to 12 and a half will get you in the right direction. Thanks, Shonda. Me too. Me too. And hey, we got Anna in the house. Woo-hoo. Hi, Anna. She says hi to Gina and Jeff. And Simply Taisha says, I wonder if the food noise came back because you were under an extreme amount of stress. I'm really thinking that was the case. And one of your 2-minute videos that you do that are just so awesome, seriously, I hope you do them for a long time because I really enjoy those. I wake up in the morning and I'm thinking, oh, I wonder what Simply Taisha has to say today. And I'm looking for it. And one of them you had was about comfort. And that you really aren't looking for food for taste, that a lot of times you're looking for food for comfort, because what you're really looking for is comfort. And there are other ways to get comfort versus having to go to the refrigerator. And I've really thought about that because I have been an emotional eater for a long time, and for all the reasons, for the happy reasons, the celebrating reasons, as well as sad, mad, stressed, worried. I don't know. If there's an emotion, I got a food for it. And I think that is why the food noise, it was extremely back these past 3 days. It was like I not had any mounjaro at all. It was like before mounjaro. And so I think that was the
BM.
before mounjaro. Yeah. So it was before my GLP-1 journey. So I think I really think that was right. So I just got to do other things for comfort. And it's a lot easier when you're not around a whole bunch of people on a beautiful buffet table and people talking about what it is that they brought, and you want to try everybody's favorite food that they brought in. And I don't know, I really fell for it big time, but I'm ready. I'm ready to be good again. And Anna says, Gina, I'm so happy for you. Oh, thank you that I found a doctor that I feel like I'm going to be comfortable with. And I hope that stays the case, because he really is a good person. I can tell that right away. And very caring. And that's really important to me, because that was the one thing about Dr. Gannon. He was so kind, and he truly cared about me and my family. And it's really nice to have that. And it's, and it takes a lot of years, but before you know it, it's like another person in your family. So it was kind of hard to see him go. All right. And Mindy says, Taisha, that sounds familiar, huh? I think you could be right. Yep. And Robin says, sweet, 12 and a half. Congratulations, Gina. I know, I am so excited that this doctor is on the same page as me, so I don't have to go looking for somebody else, mounjaro-wise, that he gets it. He gets it. And so there was no issue whatsoever having him do 12 and a half and to let me get 3 months worth. I'm really excited about that too. And okay, and Anna too takes lisinopril 5 milligrams. Yay! And have you had any problems with it, Anna, or has it just been good like it's supposed to? And help with your my doctor says it's the gold standard of what they're supposed to do for people with type 2 to make sure you're taking care of your kidneys. It's supposed to be real helpful, that little itty bitty dose. And yep, and Simply Daisha's agreeing with Mindy. And Linda's in the house. Woo woo. And Linda says, the mounjaro is helping me with hot flashes. I'm cold now. It really did. Honestly, Linda, I had such horrible hot flashes, horrible, for years. And they disappeared. They disappeared on mounjaro. And so that was like really wonderful. But and it probably saved my life, because right away it gave me a period, and I wasn't supposed to have one. And I know I already had those precancerous cells. I just hadn't had a pap smear in a hot minute. And so it opened the eyes to me and my doctor that there was something wrong. But I'm sorry you're cold now, though, darn it. That happens to us too. And I
just think of it as free air conditioning.
I know. In Arizona, we're like happy to be a little bit cold, because we're usually so hot here in the desert. Oh, goodness. Oh, but about being cold, wait, one piece of advice. What works for me when I am cold, I haven't had being too cold yet on mounjaro, but other times in my life, when I get really cold, there is nothing like hot water. So like taking a hot bath or a hot shower. I remember, because I'm originally from Illinois, if I would be like really cold, sometimes just washing my hands with hot water, and not so hot that I'm going to scald and get like a blister, but as warm as I can take it. And it just gives me goosebumps and can melt some of that coldness. Where sometimes when you get so cold, you can throw on a bunch of sweaters and it's not going to do it. But heat, warm, wet heat, like in a hot shower or hot bath, can usually turn that around. That's what works for me anyway. And I hope that'll work for you too, because it's not fun being cold either. And Robin says, I can't wait to take 12 and a half. I have 110 left. You know what? Let's do it together. I still have some 10s in the fridge, but I think I'm going to keep them, because I looked and they don't expire for until October or November of next year. So I think, because I really want to get started, I'm going to take this one so I have one less box in the fridge because it was the last 10 in that box. But I think I'm going to go ahead and start my 12 milligrams next Monday too. So we can be twinsies, Robin, and do 12 and a half together. And then every now and again, I'll throw a 10 in just to go through some of my 10s and maybe save some 10s for maintenance. But I really need to get my act together and start running through that door. But I'd like a better key to unlock it. I need a bigger key right now. And Cindy says, "Hi, beautiful peeps. Hey, Taz the Bulldog's mom. I love Cindy. Good to have you in the house. Whoop, whoop." And Deb says, "I can't do HRT because I take a blood thinner." Yeah, there's a lot of reasons that people cannot take hormone replacement therapy. And I'm very glad that you do have a doctor that looks into that for you, because you don't want to be that lady at the hospital who gets a blood clot that goes into her lungs. And he said that that can be fatal. He told me that too, before I gave him all the reasons that are not just hot flashes that mine take care of, and that I've had the ultrasound of the veins and arteries in my legs. But we are going to do that calcium test. So we'll see. Hopefully I won't have to get knocked off it, but I don't want to have a heart attack or a stroke either. Yeah. So yep, we have to, that's worse than a hot flash. That's worse than vaginal atrophy and all the rest of that. So yep, we're all individuals, and you got to look at the complete picture before you decide. And simply Taisha says, "I'm off to work out. You lovelies have a wonderful night." Okay, will do. And thanks so much for showing up. And I'm looking forward to doing a video with you in the future. And Deb's saying good night to you. And Shonda is saying, "Have a great night and a great workout, Taisha." And Cindy's saying goodbye too. And Robin says, "Barb said something to me a while back that has always stuck with me. Our injections don't do everything for us. They are shots of motivation." Oh, I love that. Oh, that Barb is so smart. I just love her. And hope. Yeah, and hope. Yeah, motivation and hope. Absolutely. And Cindy says, "Agree, Robin." Yep. And Mindy says, "I love that, Robin. Barb is so wise. And we got to keep praying for her, because she's had 2 months in a row with skin cancer surgeries. So let's pray for good healing for her." And Cindy says, "Praying for sweet Barb." Thank you, Cindy. Appreciate that. And like I say, I'm not sharing anything that's a HIPAA violation. Barb talks about this openly on her public YouTube channel. So, and she does appreciate our prayers. And I did text her and asked her if I could give her a shout out for some more prayers. And she said, absolutely. And she sent me some hearts. So we do just love, love, love our Barb. And Mindy says, "Gina, the blood clot risk is less with transdermal HRT. Oral HRT has the greater risk." That is exactly right, Mindy. That is exactly right. And my gynecologist told me that. And so she wanted me to do, she was okay with me doing transdermal, but she didn't want us to do the oral HRT route. And so I'm doing the safest way, because it's already a low dose, but I think there's a dose that's less. There's at least one dose that's less than what I'm taking, but I'm still towards the bottom. And it's made a big difference for me in so many different areas. And it's Darian's here. Woo woo! And he says, "Good evening, Gina and Jeff and the Anchor Moments family. Yay! So nice to have you, Darian." And Darian says, "Go, Mindy. You're in the regular size cups and gowns. Yeah! That is so awesome." And Cindy says, "My win. I have so many ha-has and a few losses. My win is that I was jogging on the property, fell. Oh no. And I could get up quickly without going on my knees, needing something to lean on.
Wow.
That is a win. That is a win. Okay. There was a comedian just recently, I was watching last night on Dry Bar Comedy, and said, you know you're old if when you fall down, nobody laughs. That you know you're old. And they, you know, and then when they come running to you and they're concerned and they help you up, you're old. So you had a good ha-ha in there. So yeah. So Cindy's still young.
But also one of the best things you can do to make sure as you get older, that you don't end up more hurt than you need to be, is if you have practiced being able to get up without having to get on your knees and
yeah. But anyway, I'm proud of you that you got up quickly and you didn't even need something to lean on. So that's fantastic. Yeah. That is definitely a non-scale victory. And Cindy says, my second win was that my 14 to 6, her size 14, 16s are getting too big. Wow, Cindy, that's awesome. I'm so proud of you. Yay. And Robin says, Sandra Green, no damage. Oh, from the tornadoes that we're going through. Just a very long weather forecast on 5 News. I thought it was a bit much. They both are in Minnesota. And I'm so glad that you guys ended up being okay. And Mindy says, OMG, Sin, I hate that you fell, but glad you were able to bounce back up now. That's right. You're turning into like a Weeble. Remember the Weebles? Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down.
They don't fall down.
That's true. She fell down, but she got back up so fast, kind of like a Weeble. Just go boop and bounced right back up. And Cindy says, but my loss was that I wanted some French fries and I had some, just a few, but I had some. You know what? But you had just a few. And sometimes just an itty bit is fine. It's the too much.
Count that as a win that you didn't.
Yeah, that you didn't eat the whole. You didn't eat the whole pack. That would be a win to me. And Cindy says, yes, Mindy, but this time it was a different bounce. Oh my goodness.
Thank you very much.
Oh, you are very welcome, Cindy. And it's Darium says, good luck with your surgery at Black Squirrel. Praying for quick healing. Absolutely. She's been such a special person in our group. So, yep, we'll be praying for you, Black Squirrel, for sure. And let us know when it's all over. You can give us a heads up too, because we're going to be cheering for you. And, we got Anna saying hi to it's Darium too. And it's Darium says, hey there, Anna. And Taz the Bulldog's mom says, Jeff, I'm sending you a shirt. I survived Gita's live with no bruises. Did you guys see the one where he wore the yellow construction hat? Oh, goodness gracious. And Cindy says, I'm sorry for your loss. Oh, thank you, Cindy. I appreciate that. It's a rough loss for our whole community because Victor was everywhere. He was amazing. And Kat's in the house, and Kat says, I'm hoping that the GLP-1 will get a few pounds off of me because last summer almost killed me with night sweats. It really helped me because I still had my ovaries, and it woke my ovaries up, and it made my hot flashes go away. And I'm not the only woman who's said that. I don't know. It might be that's how it unlocked the key for me. I don't know, but it really made a difference, and it made my hot flashes go away. But then I got rid of my ovaries when I got rid of my uterus. And if you don't have ovaries, you're not making all that estrogen to stop them hot flashes. And Anna says, Gina, been on it for 5 years, no problem. Oh, good. The lisinopril 5 milligrams. Thanks, Anna. I appreciate that. And I'll let you guys know how it goes for me this week because I'm going to take my first one tonight with my shot. And Linda says, thank you. We'll try. Okay, thanks, Linda. And Anna says, love it, Jeff. Free air conditioner. Oh, my baby. And the free air conditioner about not being so hot.
About
because the mounjaro cooling her off too.
Right.
Yeah. Robin says the side effects from lisinopril is a dry cough, very irritating and nagging. Not everybody gets the side effect, and mine was a small dose as well. Okay. Well, we'll find out. And I'll let you guys know. And if it doesn't work, they'll have to give me something else. And Bia's in the house. Yay! Hey, Bia. And Cindy says, that is so awesome, Mindy. Yep, that Mindy, she is crazy fab. And and thanks, Robin, for reminding people to give a thumbs up and giving us a thumbs up. Thanks. Really appreciate that. It helps YouTube know that we're a pretty good video and worth other people watching. So when you do give it a thumbs up or a comment, it does make a difference with the algorithm. So thank you, guys. Appreciate that. And Cindy says, love this group. I really hope you all have an amazing and blessed week.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, Cindy. Okay, is there anything? Oh, wait, I got to do my shot. All right, my last 10 for a while, though I have some 10s in the fridge that I will use as maybe when I go on maintenance, or every now and again I'll work one in. But I'm going to take a 10 today, and I'm going to start 12 and a half next Monday. Let's see, where should I take? Oh, yep. Mindy's reminding me, take your shot, Tina. I almost forgot too. Yep, and Robin is letting me know, do your shot. Oh my gosh, you guys, let's do it in the tummy. There was a very small study done of where to see where people felt the most suppression of appetite, and there wasn't a huge difference between the arm, the stomach, and the leg, but the stomach won. So since I'm needing to have a little bit more suppression, I don't know. To be honest, I haven't really noticed a difference. I always change up the 3, but I haven't noticed a big difference. 1 month, I did my stomach every single day for a month to see if it kind of built. I don't know. It was about the same for me, but just in case there might be a smidgen better in the tummy, I'm going to go with my tummy shot. And let's see. I think the last time I did my tummy, I did it on this side. So I'm going to switch sides and do it on this side right here. Actually, I'm going to sit down. It works better when I sit down for when I do my stomach and when I do my leg. It makes, I don't know. Every now and again, if I'm standing for my stomach or my leg, for some reason, sometimes I'll have a little bubble of the medicine that doesn't go inside. But when I'm sitting in more of a relaxed position with not where my muscles really aren't that much engaged, it seems like I do better. So I'm going to sit while taking my shot. First thing you do is you got to take off that gray bottom, and then you give it a twist from lock to unlock. So I gave it that twist. All right, and I cleaned up right about here. All right, and I'm relaxed. All right, here we go. Yep, no bubble. It went in. Couldn't feel it at all. I know it went in because the gray plunger is here and you don't see the medicine floating around in there. So it really did go in. But yeah, I couldn't feel it. Other tip for any of the newbies who haven't taken a shot yet, if you take it out of the refrigerator for at least 30 minutes so it gets warm, doesn't hurt. You can't feel it, which is amazing. And let's see. And Cindy has to do hers too, so she likes the reminder. And Robin's laughing at her. And It's Darium says, nice. Starting off 12 and a half in May. Cheering you on, Gina. Oh, thanks so much, Darium. Oh, and did you guys know today, April 28th, is Global Pay It Forward Day. So it's paying kindness forward. So if you can think of something to do that's a surprise, that they kind of surprise somebody with a random act of kindness, today is a great day to do that. And just throwing that out there. I'm still trying to think of what my random act of kindness is going to be. I'm not sure yet. We worked on a lot of kindness this weekend. I brought food to all 3 of Victor's events, and brought a fancy picture on an easel and some stuff like that. But I still got to do something today too, something tonight. I don't know, but a random act of kindness. It's Random Act of Kindness Day globally, and I just want to thank you guys all for showing up and being a part of my team, because all your comments, those are really touch my heart, and I appreciate each and every one of you. And Shonda said, let us know how the 12 and a half milligrams goes for you. I sure will, Shonda. And you guys, I am going to do a, Mindy gave me a random act of kindness. Oh, thanks, Mindy. I appreciate that. I have not gotten a super chat in like 3 months, I think. And I appreciate it so much. Thank you. Thank you. That is so great. Do you know what I do sometimes as a random act of kindness? I will get bubbles, little bottles of bubbles, and I'll go to a park and I'll blow bubbles, and then I'll leave the bottle of bubbles, and I'll put like a little sign, a little piece of paper under it, and say, enjoy these bubbles or whatever. Or if I see a family walking with kids after I'm done, because I blow bubbles as a stress relief, and I'll ask the parent if they would like my bubbles, and they can play with their kids with them or whatever, on a beautiful park day. Maybe I'll go out and blow some bubbles tonight and leave some on a bench. But I still need to do my random act of kindness. But thank you, Mindy. I appreciate that. That's great. You made my night. And Cindy says, this is your random act of kindness. Aw, yep, she sure did. Oh, you mean doing the videos? Thanks, Cindy. I appreciate that. And she says, Tony's each week. I'm not sure. You give that to us each week. Oh, you give that to each. Thank you so much, Cindy. Those silly autocorrect made that I couldn't understand it, but now I get it. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. And Mindy says, Cindy, you are so right. Aw. All right, you guys. One of the things that was said a lot at Victor's celebration of life, these three days, he had a special saying. He used to say, love out loud. Love out loud. And give everybody, and give the world heaven. So anyway, as you think about doing your random act of kindness today in any way, or do it tomorrow, we can do it on days that's not Global Pay It Forward Day, but any day, random act of kindness when you're out there doing something kind, and you're love in motion. Loving out loud is loving in motion. And Victor was an introvert, but he gave he had a life of service and was pretty awesome. So I'm going to tell you guys to love out loud. And we love you too, Mindy. She says, I love you guys. Love all you guys. Thank you so much. And and Cindy's given us some hearts too. Love out loud. Hold on to your anchor moments and make it a great day. I'll see you guys same time next week, next Monday. Bye-bye.